Okay, good morning. That's boy Ty. You made it in early today. Hey, Josh. Oh, there's questionable actions as to whether or not he did. The one in France, personally, I don't think he did. I think he just got lost as to whether or not he was supposed to sit down or not. But I mean, the reports out of the Vatican were too numerous by too many people who were there that I can believe that happened. And at 80 some years old in his condition, yeah, I can believe he was wearing Depends for bladder leaks at the bare minimum. But we're all going to get there in age one day. So I'm not going to hate on him for that. I'm not going to hold that on to him for that. I mean, your body gives out on you. Your muscles give out. And the rectum is a muscle, whether you like to acknowledge it or not. Your bladder is controlled by muscles, whether you like it or not. So sometimes, yeah. Just ask women after they've given birth, okay? Or as they get older, and all of a sudden, they start laughing and, oh, I just peed a little. So my wife's standing here looking at, my wife, like I said, my wife's off this week and she's standing here giving me dirty looks. No, I'm not talking about you, dear. I'm not talking about you. Bye. Go have fun in your garden. Mwah. She's going to go out and plant some weeds. So, yes, it is called a sphincter, but it is in your, okay, whatever. It's one of two sets of muscles that are not connected to the bone. Hey, Ramen, good morning to you, darling. Tyre, I had fun with you guys last night. Um, I overslept this morning by an hour. My alarm went off and I shut it off and rolled over, went right back to sleep. But that is going to happen on it. It's not the first time it's happened. I've had it happen where I've fallen asleep at 9 o'clock. So what happens, happens. Don't blame you. Oh, okay. I need to shut off the alarm system, or else we'll hear that thing go off every 3 minutes for the next hour until she comes back in. So disarmed. There we go. Now it won't continually go off all day. I usually leave it on for during the day, even though we're home. But anyway, let's see. Okay, yep, that finally come up good. All right, let's just get this over and done with here. The title, the the title stream, the title to the stream. All right, we've all seen these videos. This video here, and let me go ahead and get that shared. Now, this here is from the Times of India. All right. And let me embiggen that. And you see Biden just standing there like like he did at the Juneteenth celebration. Everybody's dancing and swaying and clapping. He's just standing there looking like a mannequin. But okay, now Obama reaches over, grabs him, starts leading him off the stage, patting him on the back. You're going to make it, Joe. You're going to make it. Yeah, you are. Okay. We've seen that. We've seen that clipped video. That video there. Well, the media is wanting to say, well, the media and the Biden White House, they're all saying that that video is not legit. It's been edited. So they've released this 29-second version of it, of the same thing. Now, if you watch some of these videos that the media is playing, they don't stay on the close-up video. They cut to a long view video where you can't see what's actually going on stage because it's showing the whole auditorium. So that is a bit deceptive practices by quite a few, like NBC did it, and a couple other these news companies did it. But here's this one here. I think this is put up by Axios. So yes, you know, Biden seems somewhat engaged. He's clapping, yeah, thumbs up. Now this is where he freezes. Okay. So let me back this up. And then, of course, that's where Biden, so using their timer here. There we go. This is where he's frozen at 16 seconds. Okay. "22, 23. At 23, 24 seconds. So almost 8 seconds there. Biden is just standing there. Is he or is he not lost? Is he frozen a moment in time because he doesn't know what to do? Or is he just standing there taking in the moment? So, given what has happened in the past, I'm likely to believe that he had a Windows reset there for a few seconds. But that's me. I'm showing you the entire video here. I showed you him moving and clapping and waving his hands and being normal. And then stopping and going deadpan until Obama reaches over and grabs him by the wrist or just by the forearm there. So I'm going to leave this up to you to decide. You know, make up your own mind. But, you know, make it up using all the information. Like I said before in the past, you know, I really and truly dislike anybody who clips videos, who clips audios to make somebody look bad simply because they disagree with them on a political level. And I've said many times, this goes back to Newt Gingrich with his "wither on the vine" comment, because that struck me as exceptionally foul what the news media and Democrats did. So, y'all can make up your own mind here. 8 seconds. Is that a long time or not? Ramen. And see, Josh, I'm sort of along the same lines you are there. He had a Windows reset moment there. And it's so, are the Republicans and conservatives and other anti-Biden people making more of this than what it was? Because it's not what the Democrats are portraying. Let's just be pure honest here. It's not what the Democrats in the White House are portraying. At least that's my opinion. But y'all know I try to be an honest broker when it comes to this. He does eventually come back, Josh, but it's what, that stuttering and stammering and the making up of gibberish when he's speaking and it happens, it bothers me. So let me look here real quick. And let me go ahead. Here is a link to that video. All right. To where you can sit there and watch it and do everything to it that you want to do. So do with it as you will. But that seems to be taking up a lot of the air in the room right now. And a lot of people I don't think are being honest brokers on the left. I mean, never expect the White House to be an honest broker. Never expect KGP there to be an honest broker. I mean, rarely do you expect the White House spokesperson to be honest. They're paid liars. Let's call it what they are. They're paid liars to stand there and defend the White House regardless if what's going on is indefensible. So there's that. You do what you can do, and I never trust the paid White House spokesman. McKinley was the closest I came to trusting one. And I think the mere fact that she was good looking did a lot to help that out. But that's it. Okay. I don't know how many of y'all are Adobe users. I used to use Adobe a lot, but over the years, I've drifted away from Adobe. But there's still a lot of professionals that use Adobe. I just don't need all the power Adobe gives other than to read PDF files. That is the sole reason why I do anything with Adobe is to read the PDF files. But all month now, Adobe's been catching a lot of flack. A lot of flack because they had a new terms of service released. And part of this terms of service, a lot of people, and including me when I first read it, was that Adobe was telling you that if you used Adobe for photoshopping or filming or anything, that you gave up ownership of that product, of that image or images to Adobe so that they could use it for training their AI. That's the way I read it when I read the new terms of service when they released them earlier this month. And Adobe caught a huge bunch of back flack on that. Huge amounts. Because you do not want you don't want a third party company. You're paying them to use your product, to use their product. Then they want to turn around and claim ownership of anything you use their product for so that they can turn around and use it as they see fit. Let's see. Filmmakers condemn Adobe's latest terms of use update, which may analyze your content to improve our services and software. Those who do not accept may be blocked out of their accounts. That was on 6/6. The next day, on the 7th, Adobe says the controversy is a misunderstanding about its efforts to crack down on child sexual abuse material. In a Thursday statement, it says it'll never assume ownership of a customer's work or train its AI on user data. Why is Adobe even seeing what I'm using their program for? Unless I'm going to be stupid enough to save it to Adobe servers. I don't save nothing to the cloud. If you save something to the cloud, and my brother-in-law and I, him and I had a big discussion about this when cloud services first came out. He saw nothing wrong with them, and I saw everything wrong with them. And I'm not going to use them, and I still don't use them. I don't use Microsoft OneDrive. I don't use Google Cloud. I do not use cloud services anywhere that I've got. Now, I'm not stupid enough to think that some of my stuff is being saved to the cloud whether I like it or not. I don't even back up my phone to Verizon's cloud service. About once a month, I double check everything on my phone, and anything that's saved anywhere besides to my phone, I delete. I delete all that stuff. I back it up to a thumb drive, and that's where all my backups are. Absolutely nothing of mine goes to the cloud. Yeah, you're right there, Ramen, about video games. Unfortunately, if you've got a Steam account like I do, your Steam games and such are saved to the cloud. So Adobe is now coming out. Oh, come on. Thank you. So Adobe is coming out now saying that, of course, this is not what we meant by terms of service. It was badly it was badly worded. It wasn't badly worded. It said what it said. And if only a few of us had misread it, then I would say, yeah. But when you have lawyers for film companies sitting there and reading that and saying not only no, but hell no, then it's not badly worded. It said what it said. And Adobe is being sued by the federal government now anyway. I saw this just yesterday. The FTC has filed a lawsuit against Adobe because for not being clear and what they offer their paid subscribers. And using deceptive means to get people to sign up for their most profitable packages and making it very difficult to get to anything that was less expensive. Such, the most profitable package that they got people to sign up for, of course, is their annual package, and you paid monthly. And if you tried to cancel, then yeah, you could cancel the service, but you had to pay lump sum for what you didn't use, for the months you didn't use. You leaving there? More pot and soil. Okay. Fine. Have fun. Don't forget, I'm trying to get you that circular plant stand tonight. Okay. I'm trying to get you that circular plant stand, but I'm not willing to pay more than $20 for it. So Tyre says to tell you bye-bye. Yep. All right. We'll see you in a little bit. So let's see here. So if you want to go and look up the lawsuit, let's see here. Adobe sued by DOJ. Let me see if I can find that. Yeah, okay. U.S. Justice Department and FTC filed a lawsuit Monday against Adobe and two of execs alleging they imposed hidden early termination fees on millions of online subscribers, that Adobe forced subscribers to navigate a complex and challenging cancellation process designed to deter them from canceling subscriptions. And one of the things that they were doing was hanging up on people. Wait a second here. Oh, Raman, this is it's a circular, looks like a Ferris wheel planner, and the bottom shelf is 24 inches off the ground. The top shelf is 50 inches, almost 55 inches off the ground, and there's like 4 other shelves on either side, and they're all attached to a hoop. So she's going to absolutely love that if I can get it for her. But one of the things Adobe was doing, and was if you tried to cancel online, then it gave you you had no option but to pay the mass penalty. So if you called the customer service, though, they just bounced you around from customer service rep to customer service rep, CSR, and hang up on you to where you had to call back and start all over again. So, well, like I said, this is on an auction site, Ramen. So, and I'm only willing to pay so much for it. Oh, no, I don't. I've got throwaway credit cards or debit cards that I use to link things to. So anyway, yeah, there's so Adobe is in trouble for that. They are going to be. This lawsuit just got filed, and I t- I'm not surprised. I really used to like Adobe, especially when I used it a lot. But now it's just the entire company's become nothing more than a power grab. So uh, I've got no use for it. All right. So what else is in the news here today? I'm going to try to save I'm saving one story for my that's going to get me heated till the end here. Yeah. Now, see, Paint Shop again. I haven't used Paint Shop in years, but Paint Shop used to be a really great program. Uh, but see, everybody's gone now, including Microsoft. Microsoft's not too bad, I guess. It's $5 a month to use Microsoft Suite, and it's automatically kept updated. Which, for home use, $5 a month isn't too bad. I can live with that. Uh, but what I don't like about it is I don't have physical hard software. I don't have the CD or the floppy disk or anything to load it on something. I've got to stay attached to the internet to get it. But again, be real careful. I don't load anything up to Microsoft OneDrive. Don't like that at all. If this was a Republican, it would have been a lot bigger news story. But of course, it's not, so it won't be. You've heard, I've talked about New Jersey and its crime politics for a long time. And yet another New Jersey Democrat power broker is indicted. The allegations are the latest blow to the powerful grip of the New Jersey Democrat politics machine. No, we like to think, we know Illinois is corrupt. Their politics are. We know New York, especially New York City, politics are corrupt as hell. Nevada, their politicians But everybody seems to forget exactly how corrupt New Jersey is. Even Ohio isn't this corrupt. So, New Jersey Attorney General Matt Platkin charged Democrat power broker George Norcross and 5 others in first degree racketeering in a 13-count indictment. Channeled tax breaks to himself and others in his circle. The state alleges that Norcross has been running a criminal enterprise in the state for at least the last 12 years. The alleged conduct of the Norcross Enterprises has caused great harm to individuals, businesses, nonprofits in the state of New Jersey, especially the city of Camden and its residents. So, I mean, he's been running this now for over a decade. Who did he manage to get angry at him? Which Democrats did he make mad? Did he not help out? Did he help their opponents or whatever to cause this? A bullish Norcross showed up on Platkin's conference on Monday, listens to the attorney general, denounced the charges, and called Platkin, a fellow Democrat, a coward. So my gut instinct after reading this article is Platkin wanted some stuff done, and Norcross told him no. So this is how Platkin's getting his revenge. According to Platkin's office, Norcross and 5 other defendants obtained property and property rights on Camden waterfront for itself and others, while collected millions in tax dollars and government issued tax credits and controlled and influenced government officials to further the enterprises. But like I said, either he didn't get his cut or Platkin wanted something done that Norcross refused to do. So maybe New Jersey's power structure is about to fall. Yeah, that could be it too, Josh. And he just got too greedy. Yeah, they just got too damn greedy. You don't know. You don't know when you sit here and watch these guys because they're nuts. The rest of that article isn't worthwhile reading. You know, you know, they bring up Bob Mendez, who's still a sitting senator. The Democrats have not kicked him out of the Senate yet for taking gold bars, a Mercedes, and bribes from executives with ties to Egypt and Qatar. So, but they made the Democrats made Republicans get rid of that Stavros character out of New York. So, what is this that just popped up? Oh, speaking of Democrats, uh, Texas, them sent himself hate mail. Here we go. Now, this story come out yesterday, and it just surprised the daylights out of me. Not really. George Santos, yeah, you got it. And I didn't, George Santos, I was sort of glad to see him go. Didn't need him in office. But the double standard of the Democratic Party and of the media and the Democrats raised hell about Santos being in office and how he needed to be kicked out. The Republicans needed to get rid of him, knowing full well that his replacement would be a Democrat, and the Republicans had a very slim control of the House. So anything they could do to hurt the Republican Party is what they were out for there. The Democrats, of course, and the media. Now, Mendez gets kicked out of. Mendez would be replaced by another Democrat. So it doesn't matter whether or not he's removed. But the Democrats and the media, one and the same, are absolutely silent, and so are the Republicans. Absolutely silent on getting him removed. So, okay. Texas official, ex-Biden liaison, allegedly sent himself racist messages. County commissioner created fake accounts to send the messages. Texas commissioner, is now looking at felony impersonation charges over alleged racist comments sent to him last fall. Tara Patel, Precinct 3 Commissioner for Fort Bend County, was arrested on June 12th and accused of creating fake accounts. Okay. Why? I'm paid by the word, reporters. The impersonation comes from the fact that he took a picture of somebody else that he found online and used that to create the accounts. And so that's where the impersonation is coming from. He took a real man's photograph and used that as on the emails. All right. The messages called him a dirty Pakistani who supports terrorists, accusing Patel of worshiping false gods like a monkey and an elephant. Basically, everything you could say about somebody from the Near East like that, from India. Every offensive thing you could say. By using an online image search engine, has discovered the Facebook profile used for Scallywag's account belonged to a real person named Patrick Ernest of Needville, Texas. Ernest was aware of the fake account and was invited to the district attorney's office for an interview. Meta, Facebook's parent company, was subpoenaed for the email used to create the account. Patel used his own name to create the email, mountaingoatsrules@gmail.com. Held on a $250,000 or on a $22,000 bond. That's, when you've got when you've got to play a race card to get elected, that's what you do. You play race cards to get elected. Where did I hide that video? Okay. What in the devil's going on here, YouTube? Oh, that's right. You guys do this crap now. I hate this new layout YouTube did when you save videos. Because it makes it difficult to find the videos that you're looking for that you've saved. Okay. Ah, dang it. No, that's not what I want to see. Here we go. Got it. Can I open it finally? Yes, I did. There's a little school, there's a school board in Michigan that's been having a lot of troubles. And this isn't just this school board, but this is representative of school boards everywhere. Okay, let's see if I can get this pulled up here properly now. Hey, Digi, good morning. Uh,
Actually speak of substance. We're trying to get attention. Okay, that's okay. If you simply look up the definition of marginalized, you'll find out next to the word.
Time to frog march some people out. Come on, comrades.
Go ahead and have Shannon look up marginalization.
Everybody.
All right. Let me post a link to this to where you guys can sit there and watch it yourself in its entirety. What's going on here is one of the school board commissioners is very proudly saying how he supports all of his marginalized students, all of them. And one of the other school board members are saying, are you really? Because it seems like you're celebrating students who you got special celebrations for your Hispanic students. You have special celebrations for your Black students. You have special celebrations for your gay and lesbian students. You're having special celebrations for all these little individual groups. But the one group you're absolutely ignoring are your Christian students. You allow all these marginalized students to have their special meetings and celebrations and everything else, but they no longer call Christmas break. It's now winter holidays. Easter break is now spring break. They've renamed, they've done everything they could to eliminate anything doing with Christianity from the school. And then that's where all the ruckus raises up. There's quite a few videos posted by this woman of this school board of her and her daughter. And I'm going to be honest, full transparency, I love listening to this young lady get up there and talk. She shows the hypocrisy of the school board like no adult does. And I know I shouldn't be liking this as much as I do. But when her mother would get up and talk, the school board president there would gavel her down, yell at her, et cetera, et cetera. But she doesn't do it to the young lady, to the student when she gets up there and talks, or doesn't do it as often or as loudly or as badly, because she knows it's very bad optics to be seen beating up on a student. So, and I'm never one to like seeing anybody use kids as cannon fodder. But I don't know if this young girl is actually being used as cannon fodder. So, okay, let's see here. I need to read more into this story to see what's going on with it. So I'm not going to get into it because I've got too many questions about that. Okay, now this story here, now I'm going to get into stuff that's just going to plain make me angry. And hopefully it'll make y'all angry. Dealing with illegal immigration. Got several stories here. And hopefully it'll make y'all as angry about it as it does me. Let me start off with what our president, and yes, I do say president, because I might not have voted for him, but he was elected. So he is our president, whether we like it or not. Biden announces sweeping protections for migrant spouses of U.S. citizens. I do not care if you married an American citizen or not, you still have to follow the same laws and the same rules as any other migrant and to get into our country and to be here as a lawful resident. You need to undergo the same background checks. We just talked yesterday, just had an article yesterday about an Army guy whose girlfriend is a Russian living in Russia. And he went through China to get to Russia to be with her. A lot of these migrant wives, now, passport bros are going around the world finding wives because they don't like American women for one reason or another. But that should not make it easier on these people to enter our country. The Department of Homeland Security will implement a new policy to allow some migrants to apply for lawful permanent residence status, including the non-citizen spouses and children of lawful U.S. permanent residents or citizens. The White House said it expected the policy to offer protection to about 500,000 American families, which would include roughly 50,000 under the age of 21 who are married to or children of a U.S. citizen. Now, if they are a child of, a biological child of a U.S. citizen, then they're a U.S. citizen. They get to stay. That's birthright citizenship. I agree with that. So, and that's already there. So that part is just, I mean, oh my God, you evil Republicans are against the children of U.S. citizens. No, we're not. Birthright citizenship is a thing. But that doesn't mean the mother can come in if the mother or the father is not already a U.S. citizen or does not already have a lawful visa to enter our country. If you don't have the proper visa to enter our country, you don't. And well, I'm married to so-and-so and flash your wedding rings. No, that don't work. You have to do the exact same paperwork as anybody else trying to enter our country. You have to jump through the exact same hoops. And you should have looked into that before you jumped into that marriage. A White House fact sheet provided Fox News on the plan laid out the eligibility requirements for the new rules, including the spouses of Americans must have resided in the U.S. for 10 years or more and be legally married to a U.S. citizen while satisfying other immigration requirements. Those who are approved under the program would be able to apply for permanent U.S. residency after a 3-year period, while also being eligible for work authorization for up to 3 years. The president's new rules would also ease the visa process for U.S. college graduates, including recipients of the Obama-era DACA, to stay in the U.S. if they received a degree from U.S. institutional education and have an offer of employment from U.S.-based company. Hell no. If they're here in this country, deport them. I don't care if they're here under DACA or not. DACA was unconstitutional from the get-go. Obama even said it was unconstitutional, if you'll remember. He said he did not have the power to do that for years until he did it. And I will never forgive the Republican Party for not taking that to court the minute he signed that, for not having court paperwork ready to go the moment he signed that executive order. And I am still mad at Trump and his advisors for not knowing what hoops they had to jump through to ban DACA. Now, I agree with Trump. If it started with an executive order, I should be able to end it with an executive order, end a conversation. He didn't have to jump through any hoops to get it started. I shouldn't have to jump through any hoops to end it. I agree in principle with him. But that's not the way it works. Especially a program that the Democrats and the media love, like DACA. It's for the children. It's not fair to send the children back to their home country when they've never lived there. Why are you sending them back to live in poverty when they're in our schools here? Because they're not here legally. Would you allow a 5-year-old to just move into your house? Or are you going to call the police and have them removed? Are you going to let a 17 or 18-year-old just move into your home? Or are you going to call the police and have them removed? Somebody drops off a baby at your doorstep here. You just going to take them in, or are you going to call the police and turn it over to them and let them do with it what the law requires? I don't care how old you are. I don't care what country you came from. If you came across the border illegally, you go back across that border after giving a bologna sandwich, a bottle of water, and told you got 10 years before you can attempt to come across the border legally again. Australia, if you attempt to cross their border illegally and you're caught, it's a 3-year exclusionary rule. New Zealand's the same way. Europe, England, I think they've got a 5-year exclusionary rule. I'm all for a 10-year exclusionary rule. You can't even apply to come back into the country legally for 10 years. And if you're caught, you automatically go to jail. And then you're deported again with a lifetime exclusionary rule. It really is that simple to me. And if these kids got college educations, let them go back to their home countries and use that college education to improve their home country. They, let them go back to their home country. Use that education to improve their home country so that the next generation doesn't want to leave. Asked if the new policies would apply to those who've entered the country illegally, White House spokesperson said the rules would apply to individuals who are eligible under existing U.S. law to adjust their status. So, yes, it would go for people who entered the country illegally. Okay? That is what would happen there. No, what we are announcing is essentially a streamlined process. That process does not get streamlined by executive order. That process gets streamlined, if it gets streamlined, by Congress. This is law. Biden does not have the authority to change the law or to change the process that was put in place by Congress. How many times have we heard him say that? Well, the Republicans, and they usually start off with, well, the Republicans won't let us streamline the process. Well, maybe, just maybe, if you would work with the Republicans on keeping out illegals first, then maybe we could see about streamlining the process. But when you have a broken water line and water is just gushing everywhere, what do you do first? You fix the broken water line. You fix the break. Then you go to look to see about making the water easier. It's that simple. We have got a broken border. We need to fix our border first. Then we need to start deporting every swinging person that's in this country illegally. I don't care where they came from. I do not care. If they are in this country illegally, deport them. End of conversation. Deport them. Take them to the Mexican border, take them to the Canadian border, and they're not allowed back across. It's that simple. And tell Mexico and tell Canada the borders are closed. If you do not have a valid visa, you can't cross the border. End of conversation. You know, you can't enter Canada as an American citizen if you've ever had a DUI. There's a lot of crimes that if you've ever committed, you cannot enter Canada. If you enter Canada illegally and they catch you having committed those crimes, you go to Canadian prison. You're not just given an old poo-poo and walked back to the border. You're arrested and you go to jail. But our biggest problem, as we all know, is the southern border is Mexico. As long, Digi or Josh, you know, if Mexico wants to send a student here for 4 years and pay everything, with the premise that that person will not stay in the United States after graduation, within days of graduation, you know, 2-3 days. They're on a plane, a bus, a car, whatever, back to the Mexican border and do not cross that border again for 5 years. That's fine. Sometimes you're right about that too, but sometimes that water supply switch is kind of difficult to find, as I've found out. So you get a big old patch across that hole as fast as you can. But this make work, and for those who would ensure some predictability with those who are eligible for permanent resident status. I want the borders closed. I want illegals deported. You're married to an illegal? That's your problem. Not mine. That's yours. That's not our country's problem. That's your problem. You can go live with him in his country. But he doesn't have the right to be in ours. Or he can go. Now, you get to keep the children if there are any, because birthright citizenship. And that's, speaking of birthright citizenship should only belong to people who's got at least one parent who is an American citizen at the time of birth. Not the, oh, you were born inside the border, therefore you're automatically a citizen. No, 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 no. You have got to have a parent who is already a citizen the moment you were born. Otherwise, you're not a U.S. citizen. All right, the next story here. These are all stories about illegals. Migrants from 177 countries have accepted Biden's open invite to U.S. border. 1.39 million immigrants have entered the U.S. from Mexico from January through May. 5 months, Mexican officials have said. In 5 months. So these aren't just Mexicans or Hispanics or South Americans or whatever you want to say. These are people from 177 countries. Have tried nearly 1.4 million undocumented immigrants from a staggering 177 countries traveled through Mexico to the United States from January to May, according to Mexico's National Institute of Migration. Why did Mexico allow it to happen? Why did Mexico allow people from 177 different countries to enter their country? Why? They're not being a very good neighbor. And this is why I said we just take everybody that we're deporting and send them back to the southern border. Just take them all, send them back to the southern border. Mexico welcomes people from all around the world with open arms, as long as they're traveling to the United States southern border. So let's just send them all back to the southern border and let Mexico deal with them. Considering there are 193 member states in the United Nations, nearly the entire world has taken advantages of the president's open invite. There are always a few exotics. That's my kind of term. We call them OTMs, other than Mexicans, because there's so few of them that they lumped them all together. Essentially inviting mass illegal immigration by letting people get across the border, and word spreads, so you're getting people from everywhere. And don't forget, once, as this next paragraph says, once they are in this country, the Supreme Court has ruled that they're our problem. We have to educate the kids. We have to pay for their medical. We've got, and I'm going to go there, people. I'm going to go there. We've got elderly and veterans who can't get medical treatments. But we're treating illegals for every disease known to man. We've got busted down school systems where kids can't read in the 9th grade. But we're paying to educate illegals. I'm losing my health insurance here come October. October 1st, I lose my health insurance because I turned 65. And in the process of, I'm going to lose some of my medical treatment because it's not covered under Medicare. And I can't afford to pay the $500 a month for the medical insurance that will cover it. So yeah, you know, uh, this is staring me right in my face. And it's going to be staring every one of you in your face at your time. Hey, morning, Leslie. Yeah, you're right. I would not be surprised. Hey, Retro, I would not be surprised if we aren't paying for sex changes. Yeah, I'm trying the VA Retro, but the VA in this area is non-existent. And the VA rules on the pain meds and such are really draconian. Of course, they're run by the government. And while you know how you military are, y'all just all a bunch of druggies. Screw you. Studies have differed on whether there is link between illegal immigration and spikes in violence. Although illegals have been charged with high-profile crimes such as Rich Moreland in Maryland and Georgia student Laken Riley. Yeah, they talk and point the left. Well, these immigrants don't commit crimes as much at the same rate as natural-born Americans do. First of all, they commit a crime every day they're in the country. They're committing a crime every day that they're in the country. So don't tell me that I don't want to hear that. They're also working under the table. They're not paying federal taxes. Or if they are paying federal taxes, they've stolen somebody else's tax numbers to do it. So either they're working under the table or they've stolen somebody else's. And yeah, there's some that actually do go and get these work things. But why in the hell in this job market where so many people are looking for work, are we giving illegals work? We got so many people on welfare. We're giving jobs to illegals instead of to American citizens. Why? There should not be a single, and I really, 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 and I know that this is a real pain in the butt for employers. But there is that E-Verify program where employers can verify before they actually hire if the person's social security number that they put out or their employment number that they give them actually belongs to them and whether or not they're eligible to work in the United States. And if I had my druthers, every company, any company that hired an illegal would be fined $1,000 a day for every illegal that they hired and worked. So if that illegal had been here for 6 months and they were on that payroll for 6 months, that's 180 days for one illegal at $100 a day. 2 illegals, that'd be $200 a day for 180 days. That money would rack up in a real hurry. Plus, they'd be ineligible for any government contract, state or federal. State or federal, I don't care. They're ineligible for any and all federal contracts for 5 years. That would stop a lot. It used to be funny. It used to be until we got a new sheriff in. It used to be funny. We got a new sheriff in, and he promised he was going to crack down on illegals working on job sites. He'd pull up to a construction site, and you would see him. He said it'd be funny to watch him scatter. Because he'd go around and be asking to see their work authorizations. You don't speak English? Let's see your work. He'd go in, take them into the office. Let's see their work authorization. Oh, you don't have one? Put them in the back of the car. Go to the next one. Go to the next one. Sheriff, a couple of counties over, said that that was cruel and unusual, and that he wouldn't do anything. Soon, all the illegals left here and went to his county. Let them. He didn't last the next election. You're not wrong about that either, Retro. You're not wrong about that either. So, oh, this is what it is. But okay, so let's go to the next story that pissed me off. I read this morning, or that I've read again, dealing with an illegal driver in Colorado crash that killed one had been deported 16 times prior to wreck, ICE says. The truck driver arrested last week in a fatal crash involving multiple vehicles left one person dead was under deportation orders at the time of the wreck, ICE says. 47-year-old criminal was involved in a fatal crash while driving a semi-truck in Jefferson County, Colorado. The criminal was hauling metal pipes and angle iron at the time of the wreck and overturned the truck going at least 65 through a 45 zone. The wreck dumped a load of metal onto 5 other vehicles. One person was killed and one person was seriously hurt. The criminal was not injured. The criminal was arrested 2 days later and charged with vehicular homicide, vehicular assault, reckless driving a commercial vehicle with no CDL. Now, Immigration and Customs says that they've been aware of the criminal since he was arrested in the same county back in 2002. Everybody involved in this wreck should, one, be lining up to sue the trucking company. Everybody. Lining up to sue the trucking company. And then lining up to sue ICE. ICE knew he was in the country. ICE knew he was in that county. ICE knew that he was under deportation orders. Why, the minute the judge said he needs to be deported, why was not he immediately taken into custody and deported? Why? Why was not he immediately deported that moment? Because the Biden administration does not give a damn. According to ABC 7, The criminal had been removed and returned to Mexico at least 16 times since his 2022 arrest and was ordered once again to be removed from the country just 2 weeks prior to the fatal crash. He'd been driving for Monique Trucking LLC at the time of the accident. The company has not commented on the incident. There's absolutely nothing that company can say. There's nothing they can say to make it any better. They knew they had an illegal working for them. They did any kind of criminal background check on him, any kind of a background check, they knew he was illegal. They knew he'd been deported. Every county sheriff should have a list of every illegal that's under deportation orders and last known addresses. And when they see them people pick them up, arrest them, and keep them in custody until ICE comes and gets them. That's all there is to it. These people who have been under deportation orders, I don't understand why they're still in the country. A man is dead because of an illegal. Well, we have the X number of people die on our roads every day because of American citizens. This guy wouldn't have been one of those dead this week. He would still be with his family if it wasn't for this illegal. That'd be one less dead person because of this illegal. Let's look. We can't control what American citizens do. But we can deport the people who are not supposed to be in this damn country to start with. Migrant suspect in a sex assault of 13-year-old girl in New York City, now in New York PD custody. An Ecuadorian migrant is in custody after a 13-year-old girl was sexually assaulted in a secluded part of Queens Park. The migrant, who sources believe entered, he's illegal. He's here illegally. In 2021, was taken in police custody Tuesday, 5 days after a girl and a 13-year-old boy were held at knife point with a machete-style blade in a broad daylight attack inside of Casino Park on Thursday afternoon. There's that piece of shit. Well, that'd be one less girl that had been sexually assaulted, one less boy that had been held at knife point. You know, Josh, you're exactly right on all three of those. And, you know, your father was doing the right thing and standing his ground. We have a problem in this country. We have got so many, and the Democrats want it because they want And don't forget, the Democrats are also pushing hard to get rid of the Electoral College. They're pushing hard to make illegals legal and make them citizens so they can vote. Why? It's all for power. This isn't because they're good people and looking out for, the poor of the world. Even they know that we can't take in every poor person in the world. Even they understand that. They want to bring enough people into this country to ensure that they got their votes. They want to get rid of the Electoral College because they want their cities that they put these illegals into after they've given them the right to vote. Because they know the vast majority of them will continue to vote for Democrats. The Democrats understand that they're starting to lose the black vote. They haven't lost it. Instead of getting 6 or 8% of the black vote this year, they're figuring Trump is going to hit close to maybe 20%. That's still 80% voting for, 80 plus percent voting for Biden. But that 15, 16, 17% that votes for Trump scares the hell out of the Democrats. And they know that they've lost a lot of votes among some of the Hispanic communities. So they're importing more and more and more. And they're intentionally trying to turn states like Florida and Texas from blue or from red to purple. They know what they're doing. Their ultimate goal is power. They want unfettered power as a Democratic Party. Remember, the Republicans had not had control of the House of Representatives for over 40 years, or nearly 40 years, until Newt Gingrich and the contract with America. And the American people gave the House of Representatives gave it to the Republicans for the first time in decades. And since then, it's been a seesawing back and forth between the Republicans and the Democrats. Which I don't like it when Democrats have control of the House, because that's where all the spending bills by constitutional authority are supposed to start. But we have got to understand what they're long term, very long term, and that you've got Soros. You've got the people out there who just simply hate America. I forget who it was I was talking to one day online. I want to say they were either Canadian or Scotch, from Scotland. But they were talking about some of their elected leaders who were dual citizens. Between multiple dual and triple citizens between multiple countries. And that got me remembering, like Ilhan there, promising that she was going to make certain that this administration looked out for Somalia before it looked out for Americans, would do what Somalia wanted them to do. At that point, as far as I was concerned, she was then proclaimed herself a traitor to this country. When you stand up and proclaim you're going to look out for the interest of another country over ours, you are no longer fit to be in the leadership of our country in any fashion. You should not hold any elected position in the country the minute you stand up and say you are going to look out for the interests of another country first. Yeah, that's a good word there, Josh. Commification. But hi, dear. I'm in one of my rants. So just give you a heads up. Did you hear that? This is why she likes me streaming, guys. Because this way I get it out of my system and she doesn't have to hear when she gets home from work in the evenings. But anyway, yeah. The Democrats want to get perpetual power. And we've seen the way the Democratic Party is going. They've gone more and more and more socialist. They've been doing it since the 50s. More and more socialism. Ramen says to tell you hi. So, yeah, we've got issues here, people. And we're not talking something that's going to pop up tomorrow. If they could make it pop up tomorrow and be over with tomorrow, they would in a heartbeat. But that's not what's going to happen. All right. It's more long term than that. They're thinking a couple of decades ahead, just like they were back in the 40s and 50s when they started pushing the communist instructors in the colleges. Then they got them down in the high schools and down in the elementary schools. So, anyway, guys. The one last thing. Senator Schumer was so angry at the Supreme Court ruling last week, saying the ATF was wrong in making bump stocks illegal. He is now pushing a bill he's promising to get through this week through the Senate to ban bump stocks, and he's hoping to get it through. He wants to get it through the Senate this week and sent down to the House of Representatives next week. That is how. Can you imagine Schumer moving that fast on anything that actually mattered? That he is going to try this hard to ban an item, that he's going to push it through in just a few days through the Senate? I hope like hell it doesn't have a prayer getting through the House. I pray like hell it doesn't have a prayer getting through the House. But I don't trust enough of the Republicans not to vote for it. Go for it, Joshua. I'll watch that video. Hell, you can make a weekly series out of that. I wouldn't try to do it daily. I'd do it weekly. But anyway, I've got to go and spend a little bit of time with Troubles with my wife. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here a little bit early today. But I want to thank everybody for coming out and listening to me rant, getting this off my chest. And we will be back. I don't know if I'll be back tomorrow or not. Thursday, most likely Thursday. I don't think I'll be streaming tomorrow. All right. But y'all have a good day. Enjoy yourselves. Try to stay out of trouble. Can't stay out of trouble. Have as much fun getting out of it as you did getting in it. Be with the ones you love and love the ones that you're with. Later all.